Everyone, my name is Kevin Fernandez. Today I will be talking about my web design development course 3. And my index first, I will talk about my knowledge prior to this course. Secondly, the research and what I learned from each research, the project and challenges that I have, the future. I'll be using my new knowledge and my goodbyes. So prior for the knowledge, I didn't know that much about events and fetch. I probably knew a lot about selecting a HTML tag from the HTML and using it with the JavaScript, inputting some information inside of it, but not much about the events and the fetch. In my week one research, I learned how to communicate my idea and my project to anyone like project manager or client and present a solution to most problem and what it resolve. So at my integration, I got refreshed about using Get and it's already in JavaScript to the HTML. That's it that complicated and I really it's was more about refresher. So in my research in week two, I learned about changing tools, how much things have changed, and other technology that used to do most things for us, especially the example was jQuery and JavaScript, how much of the features uh, JavaScript took from jQuery, no longer jQuery is that necessary. We can actually do most of the stuff with vanilla now. And also I learned about user testing, that is something that I really plan to use for now on in my personal projects. So in the integration, I learned about creating my own gallery with JavaScript that is actually taking photos and taking the information, uploading it, and just cursing through them using a button and selecting the image will make it display a big image at the selected image on the screen. In my week three, I learned about event listeners, community network, and documentation. So I learned the different ways to use event listeners. There's like 12 that I really want to dive into. The communities, it basically is where you can find examples or information once someone gets stuck doing a code or finding a way to actually implement a function. So the most famous one is Stack Overflow. The documentation is basically depends on the language one is writing on, and understanding the different functions and different inf- uh, API that that language has for each developer. So in the integration, I learned about form validation and how important it is to validate a form before it being submitted, making sure that the user doesn't use it how he wanted to use. So we place on JavaScript to make sure that the form is actually being submitted in a way that is intended to be submitted with the proper information. So in my week four, I learned about fetching data with JavaScript, and I saw a lot of examples. The old way using XML HTTP request, and to the newest one they actually uses fetch, but with a synchronous and a wait. So in the integration, I saw a couple of videos, a couple of examples doing the fetching and how fetching works. Uh, and now let's go to my projects. So the first project, the article project, I built using JSON. My most hardest part was getting the raw JSON from my GitHub. I didn't even know how to place it in the GitHub until like 3-4 hours ago, and then I was able to actually fetch it from this link right here. So my project is look at here. This is it. This is what I built. Nothing simple. It's mostly static, so there's not much to see here. So my next project is the gallery. In the gallery, I built a next image function that actually makes sure that this is actually a function for the A button, but here, this is the function that actually makes sure that once I pick a image selected with a click, I able to change the main big image to that selected image. So I also have a next here, determine the next image, next image function that actually works with the right button, making sure that you go to the next image. So also I have the previous image in case you want to go back, that actually works with the left side button. Let me show you that project. See, you have the two buttons, one goes forward, one goes back, and you can also go directly to the image and pick it, and it will show the image. So for the next project, is the form validation. Let me copy the path here. And here it's quite simple. It's just if you have everything like if one of the input is empty, you're not able to go forward and click the button to go and submit the form. After you submit the form, you get a thank you text. So let me show you how that works. See, the form is not valid. It's not able to be submitted until we fill it up with some information. This is optional, so it doesn't need any text, so you can just submit it. Cool. So my last project was random users. Is actually the one that I enjoyed the most. You can see here that it's actually really short, thanks for the how simple it is to actually fetch it using fetch. It comes with a default object, so nothing to place in the object. So after I make it into readable JSON, and then passing the data, I actually use random here to select a random user, and then fill that information here with the email using the dot notation of a key value pair, as you can see here. I call that function here for the first time to make sure that the page is not blank, and then I create a button. After I select the button, and after I select it, I added a click event that actually reset the users. Let me show you that. Random user, you see that if we refresh the page, we get users, and then we can also refresh it down here with the button. So the future. So I actually have couple of idea for building some projects, and I'm really into it, doing it by tomorrow Sunday. I will start building my first personal gallery, make it a little bit bigger, something that my wife that want to learn about photography may use. So That will be something that I will try to do a photo gallery that have some functionality that show information of each picture and things like that. So I really planning to use my new skills as fast as I can. So that's it for now, guys. I really appreciate your time. Thank you for showing, watching my video. I sorry to make it long. It's just so much information that it was hard to make it short. So I really appreciate that. Thank you for watching, and hope that you have a great day or great night. Bye bye.